Hello. Hi, hello, hello, hi. How you doing, everybody? Come in. Find a. Well, that jumped up to 74 in a minute, didn't it? Uh, everybody on their lunch break, or what's going on? Did I miss a memo? Did everybody take the fucking day off, or what? Is everybody down at the barn for a little slap and tickle? Jesus, thank you for the unk alerts and all of that shit. Yeah, like I've been live for a minute and a half. There's 82 of you in here. Ain't nobody working today except my son, who's out there weed whacking right now. Just salty as a motherfucker. You know what I mean? Unemployed in Trump's great economy. Breakfast break. Is it a work day? For some, it's a Friday. You know what I mean? This is my job, so I've been sitting here making content because that's my job. Literally. Literally. Capital District of New York. Hey, dude, I mean, I can't work anymore as it is. How exciting. I've seen all the lives I've missed. Finally made it. Hang on 1 second. Let me change this thumbnail real quick. Bada boom. So, what are we here to talk about today? Nothing. I'm just killing time well, not killing time. I'm talking with you guys while I'm working on content. Retired whistleblower. Hello. Oh, your fucking mother. Dad, damn it. Sons of bitches. You're killing time. Right on. Like I said, I just got done making content, and now I am trying to put together some thumbnails for the content. And while I do that, I usually go live and just see what's on everybody's mind. What's shaking, if you will. If you want to know what's shaking with me, the answer to that question would be all of me walking up a flight of stairs. Live. Good, it took. Thank you. Very good. Sitting outside enjoying the sun now. The most of the smoke has cleared. Grew up in Connecticut. You're in Hawaii for vacation for 2 weeks. What the hell are you doing tuning into me if you're on a Hawaiian vacation, my friend? You should be like, you should have your toes in the sand or your ass in the sand or both. Well, maybe you do. I don't know. Automatic. God damn it. Just save that. Save it. Save it. Sons of bitches. Okay. All right. Um, huh? Conley, how you doing? Been watching this constant back and forth from the Blanche confirmation, hoping it doesn't happen, but won't hold my breath. Well, the last holdout Republican I heard earlier today is a yes. Murkowski is a no, and Collins is a no, because Murkowski and Collins forever play this fucking game. Collins more than Murkowski, but both of them are yeses. So this one last Republican holdout was a question, and I believe he announced this morning that he's going to vote yes. So Jerry was MAGA before MAGA. Sure, whatever helps you sleep at night, dumbass. So he's probably going to get confirmed, unfortunately. And then it's going to become more important than ever to make sure that we vote in numbers in November, because there's going to need to be a check and balance on this administration more than ever once this piece of shit becomes the full-time attorney general. Burning question: did Tommy Tuberville grow up under power lines? Most certainly. They maybe didn't even have power lines back then. Maybe he's just a product of some severe inbreeding. But there's something wrong with the man. I can tell you that much. We won't be voting. I'll be voting. I'll be voting. You bet your fucking ass I'll be voting. We never gonna get those files now. It's going to be harder, that's for sure. It's going to be harder. Power lines have been a thing since 1882. Then maybe the motherfucker did grow up under power lines. I don't know. Maybe it was growing up under power lines. Maybe it was a steady diet of paste as a youngin'. Who the hell knows? But Tommy Tuberville is definitely fucked in the head. His brain's broke. Do you think Evelyn had something to do with Trump winning and his computer boys? Huh? Things could swing back quite a bit depending on midterms? Yes, it can. A kick to the head by a mule. Yeah. No, they don't follow history. They never have and they never will. The Iron Maiden is what? Oh, I get. Okay, I see what you're saying. Because they're all great bands. They're all great bands, and they're all, I think, history driven. Dig deep into Rush's lyrics and dig deep into Iron Maiden's lyrics. Man, there's a lot of shit going on there. I think Iron Maiden are secretly a bunch of history teachers trying to get kids that are really into metal to know their history. Do I think that a Native American should run for president? If they're qualified. Let me just make sure I'm... Ooh. Hang on. Is that... Come on, give it. Give it. Grateful Dead are douchebags? Well, opinions are like assholes. You done?
Yeah.
All right, take a shower, bud.
Okay.
Where am I at here? Here. What? Okay. If Trump signed the birthright citizenship, isn't Melania, isn't Barron Trump illegitimate? Okay. I believe that's the case. That's the one I want right there. But it goes deeper than that because Donald Trump said that he believes that everybody who has dual citizenship should have to choose between their U.S. citizenship or the other citizenship that they enjoy, and they both enjoy dual citizenship. And I haven't heard, unless I missed the press conference, anybody say that they had made a decision as to which one of their citizenships they were going to keep. It's just another case of blaring hypocrisy when it comes to Trump and his circle. Do as I say, not as I do. No, she was not a citizen at the time she had Barron Trump. And I don't believe his first wife was a citizen when she had her first three. I think. I'd have to go back and look at it. You shouldn't have to choose your citizenship. You should be able to enjoy dual citizenship in the United States and another country if you want. That's been the way it's always been that way. Trump's ties to the Tate brothers need to be investigated. I was born, hey Alcor, how you doing? In the U.S. in '63 and left when I was 5. Have Canadian citizenship. Are you still a U.S. citizen? I think so. Fuck Trump, ICE, and the white Christian national and authoritarian regime. Amen to that. you've heard of the Grateful Dead, but you haven't heard much of their music. The Grateful Dead is not a band that is necessarily for everyone. It's a weird mixture of music. It's a little bit of rock, a lot of bluegrass, some country, some blues, all kind of thrown together in jam band form. It is not for everybody, that's for sure. But for those that get into it, that can find themselves enjoying it, they're going to find that it goes way deeper than the music, and that there's an entire community there. And I know that that's a cliche that other bands have said before. We have a family, we have a community, but this is actually true. It's hard to describe. Such a big fan. You were awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Black licorice. Yep, black licorice. What are you attacking Canada for? I'm not attacking Canada. So, what do you think are the worst, hang on a second, moments in Trump's second term? The worst moments in Trump's second term, I would say that what's going on with ICE, the detention centers, the citizens that have been shot, that collectively, the approach to immigration has been just really, really horrendous. Somebody said Jerry Garcia would be MAGA. That's because they're stupid. That's why they said it. Wouldn't it be nice to sign a petition and after that Ornstein is gone from the presidency that we could have his family deported? Yeah, it would be nice, but that's most definitely never going to happen. Come on, give me a real thumbnail for fuckity fucks sake. Boyle Cassidy is an absolute shell of a man. Yeah, Bill Cassidy, I believe, was the last Republican to announce whether or not he was going to vote for Todd Blanche for Attorney General, and I believe he said this morning that he is a yes, which means that if it all goes according to plan now, Todd Blanche should become the full-time Attorney General once the vote is had. So that fucking sucks. Trump and company should be exiled on a MAGA island. Here's what I think should happen. Donald Trump wants to reopen Alcatraz Island in San Francisco, off of San Francisco. Let's do it. Let's rehab the whole goddamn prison, open it back up, and make it exclusively for the men in the Epstein files. Trump, Clinton, the Prince, all of them. Put them all on Alcatraz Island. And then take some of that increased defense budget that the Republicans keep clamoring for, and park a couple of military boats off the coast. And if any one of these fucks even tries to get off the island, smoke them. You're going to that island for life. Period. And you should be lucky we're letting you live and we're not double tapping you in the back of the fucking skull for the things that you did to children. After all, we put dogs down when they harm children. I don't understand why we can't do the same for pedos. But we put them on that island. Trump wants to rehab the island. Put them all on that island for life. And if they step one fucking toe in the water, it's hasta lasagna, don't get any on you. And yes, Donald Trump hates California. So he has to look out the only window he has at the people of San Francisco going about their life while he's rotting away in prison. Fucking piece of shit. Hang on one second. Fuck, learn how to type. Dallas, Texas, how you doing? The stars are right Late at night, boom, 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 deep in the heart of Texas. What do we do with all the cultists afterwards? Hope that they go back to whatever the fuck it was they were doing before that they got into politics. You know, go back to collecting NASCAR commemorative plates or some shit. I don't know. Anchorage, Alaska. I was just there in September. Fort Worth, aloha. Nuremberg style trials. That's what should happen, yes. Will it? I doubt it. How about we give them Ohio? See? See? Watchdog knows. I'm just saying, Watchdog knows. Why do you guys call it Chicagoland? Because many, many, many years ago, I think a business tycoon in Chicago called the vast area that Chicago and the suburban area covered Chicagoland to make it sound like a big fiefdom. Right? There's a whole backstory to it, but it ultimately became the name that stuck because it encompasses everything to do with Chicago and the suburban surrounding area. Like people in Atlanta call it the Atlanta metro area, and people in Detroit call it the D, right? That's the metro area overall, not just the city. So Chicagoland just stuck, and if you live in Chicagoland, you see it all over the place. It's in car ads and on ads for your best coffee shop in Chicagoland. Everybody uses it in some way, shape, or form. And if you are from the suburbs specifically, you make sure that you don't say you're from Chicago, but rather from Chicagoland, because really the suburbs in Chicago have a really strong connection. I think more so than a lot of major cities do with their suburban areas. It truly is. Everything. It's spread out over such a massive fucking area, but it does all feel like we're all part of the same thing. You know what I mean? It feels different than any other metro area I've ever been in. Hollywood used to be Hollywoodland. Yes, the sign actually had LAND on the end of the Hollywood sign. Pointless shit. Then learn how to scroll. If you think the conversation is pointless, then why do you harm your own brain by staying here? It's fucking stupid. You saw that I was live and thought that Trump died? No shit. No, listen. Am I gonna be live when that happens? Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be live when that happens. Did it happen today? No, it did not. Do I snore, somebody said? Is a frog's ass watertight? Fuck yeah, I snore. Come on. Oh, there we go. Sometimes it takes a minute to load, and I tend to get a bit pissy when it takes a minute to load. All right. Go get me a thumbnail. No, he cannot be martyred. There cannot be any violence befalling him. What happened here? Somebody got their comment. Get the fuck out of here, you fucking ignorant motherfucker. The ladies there were on Epstein Island, already testified under oath. President Donald Trump has nothing to do with Epstein, says this sack of shit pedophile protector here. Get fucked. Stay fucked. Trump is in the Epstein files over 1 million times, just the files that we have, and we only have half the fucking files, and he is accused of some of the most horrendous shit known to man. The fact that you would even think about defending him says everything we need to know about you and your pedophilic mind. Fuck you and everything you stand for. We know the cult members are compulsive liars. This is true. Jobs created up in Canada and down in the United States. No shit. No shit. I think we shed 23,000 jobs last month. Spectacular. Spectacular. We're just humming along. The greatest economy we've ever had. Yeah, sure. And I'm going to run a 10K this afternoon. Fucking people are insane, you know? Absolutely batshit fucking insane. Now all of a sudden I can't get a thumbnail to save my motherfucking life. Fuck me right in the goat ass. And we're out of munitions. I just did a video about that today. Trump renews efforts to fire Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook after Supreme Court said he can't. This fucking piece of shit, I swear to God. This is the only thing that's going to get us through this. We got to get out to the polls. We got to vote. But this right here, this loveliness right here, this is the only fucking thing that's going to get us through this. This is why it is crucial that we continue to pass cannabis legalization laws. It is crucial why you find yourself a fucking guy or gal that's got the sticky icky in your town, and you make sure you stay stocked the fuck up at all times. It is the only thing that's going to get us through this. I swear to fucking God, it's the only goddamn thing. Tom, how the hell do you manage to do this much political content and not lose your fucking mind? Well, there are reasons. Many of them are green. And don't just have a joint handy, okay? Have a couple of backups. You got to have a couple of backups. You saw the sack. The sack's ready to go. When I get down to this guy, then we roll a few more. But you have a couple of backups. You got to be ready to go at all fucking times because the news just keeps coming in. It's just like, it's like a fucking train getting run on your fucking keister by the 24/7 news outlets. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's just fucking hour after hour after hour after fucking hour of going in fucking dry. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah. Grab the fucking headpost, or the bedpost. We're going to fucking town. Yeah, it's like Trump walked into the bedroom and said, lock the door. We're breaking some furniture. Anyway, the point of that whole rant was get yourself some weed because you're going to fucking need it. Any oodles. Did you see the new Texas guidelines for edibles with THC? Yep, absolutely. And then I posted on my non-video social media. So I post every day to Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, Snapchat, Twitter, and I can't remember where else. Stuff, non-video content as well. And I posted an image of Joe Rogan on his show, the Joe Rogan podcast, the Joe Rogan Experience, smoking cannabis. And he is out of Texas. So I posted a meme today saying, hey, Texas, Joe Rogan smokes weed openly on camera while on air on his podcast. You just said if you have this much weed, you go bye-bye to prison. Why isn't Joe Rogan in cuffs? I don't think Joe Rogan should be in cuffs, but if that's the game we're going to play in Texas, let's go. I want to see a fucking perp walk. Marijuana may kick a lot of Trumpers from voting for him. Well, Trump doesn't need to worry about anybody voting for him. He can never run for office again. The only thing he needs to worry about is whether or not he can get his agenda passed the last 2 years of his administration. It looks more and more likely that the Republicans are going to win the House, but not the Senate. So if that's what happens, if the Republicans win the House, then they stop his economic agenda from going through. And yeah, they can investigate him, but you're never going to remove him from office. So investigating him, while it is crucial that you get to the bottom of his crimes again, it's also crucial that you govern for the people. So you stop his economic agenda from going through if you retake the House. If he retains the Senate, he still gets his judges get confirmed. That's how that's going to go. If we can get the Senate as well, you can stop his judicial nominations from getting confirmed. But he, as a politician, is done. He can never run for office again. So it doesn't matter if people support Trump anymore. What matters is if they support Republicans. Because the Republicans are the ones that are going to be around after Trump is gone. Republicans are going to be the ones that are going to have to answer for the fact that they let him get away with this shit. Republicans are going to be the ones that are going to have to stand there and go, yeah, we understand that we all wanted the Epstein files released, and he did sign the law, and the bill into law, but we didn't push him on it because, you know, he told us not to. There are a lot of people that are going to have a lot of things to answer for in the wake of a Trump presidency. Sorry, I'm editing content while I speak to you. Listen. I have absolutely no trust in the Republican Party. I don't have a whole lot of trust in the Democratic Party either at this point in time. But they are the better option. They just are, and they're the only other party that has a chance to win. Um, yes, I have said I don't see him making it till 2028, not for nefarious reasons, but because of his health and his advanced age. If what I'm seeing in him physically matches up to what I saw in my father the last 4 years of his life, yeah, I don't see him making it to 28. The Tucker Carlson party, boy, that photograph that came out, it sure looked like it, didn't it? Whoa, wouldn't that be something? There was a photograph that recently emerged of a bunch of Republicans sitting around what appeared to be like a kitchen table at a very nice, rustic looking house. And there was Tucker Carlson and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massey and several others. And they're all these Republicans that are far right that supported Trump and got him into office and voted with him, but are now ostracized from MAGA, have now gone their separate way. And they could easily splinter off a segment of the Republican Party so that the conservative vote becomes that of either the MAGA wing of the Republican Party or the what America First wing, the whatever Freedom Party, whatever they want to call themselves. It could be the beginning of a splintering of the two parties, or of the party into two factions of the party. But the Democratic Party might have that as well. You have the Democratic Socialists of America taking root in some areas of the country, while moderate Democrats continue to be the ones getting elected in other parts of the country. And the question becomes, can the DSA, thank you very much for the $20 tip and the kind words. I appreciate that very much. The question becomes, can the DSA and the Democratic Party actually merge? And there are a lot of things about the DSA's platform that I do not agree with. If you look at the actual platform of the Democratic Socialists of America, it's a one-page platform. It's on their website. It calls for the 100% abolishment of police and prisons completely at some point in time. It calls for the abolishment of the Senate as a whole. It essentially says everybody gets a house, everybody gets an income, everybody gets food. You sort of work as much as you want. Listen. I don't see that playing in the suburbs. I don't see that playing in a lot of places, but we'll see. Would J.D. Vance even be that powerful? No, he would not. What you're seeing with Trump, I don't think is going to get recreated with J.D. Vance, with Marco Rubio, not even with Don Trump Jr. It's not going to happen again. Trump is a carnival barker. that gets these people to buy into a version of politics that has nothing to do with policy, that has no substance behind it. The MAGA version of politics is a version that has shared hatred of groups and individuals combined with a sports mentality. You go talk to your average MAGA supporter, they don't know jack shit about policy. They know their guy got the W. They got the merch, they got the clothing, right? They got the hat, they got the jacket, they got the shirt, right? It's like they're rooting for a fucking sports team. But you get down to the nitty gritty, they can't tell you anything about policy because if you actually talk to them about policy, they wouldn't like it. Oh, the rich people get to keep all the money? Well, what about us? Fuck you. That's what. Wait, you guys have health care with our tax dollars and we get to pay 3 times more for shittier outcomes? What about us? Fuck you. That's what. They don't know about any of that shit because they're not politically savvy. These people were not really into politics before. It's like a sports team mentality. They're rooting for a team. They're not backing policy. Bumper sticker politics. Build the wall. Lock her up. Make America great again. There's no there. It's just slogans. They don't realize that the people that they're voting for are the people that are keeping them where the fuck they're at. They're telling you not to send your child to college while they ship theirs off to college. You know where Barron Trump is right now? NYU. You know where Ted Cruz went to college? Harvard. But if you hear Ted Cruz talk, you better not send your kid to college. Those are woke universities. They're communist factories that are gonna twist your children's minds. Well, what the fuck are your kids doing at college? Oh, that's right. They're getting an education so that they can retain the levers of power when you're gone. They want you just smart enough to come in and keep operating those machines. They want you just smart enough to keep showing up for those jobs so they can give you just enough so that you can take a vacation once a year and maybe you get away a couple of weekends in the summer down by the river and you think that you got life by the fucking balls. And maybe you do. You're living a pretty decent life, but you're working your ass off to make other people billions of dollars while they legislate you into a higher cost of fucking living. And you keep voting for it. Why? Because the both of you hate the blacks. Really? What the fuck did the black people ever do to you? As a matter of fact, if you stopped and thought about it for longer than 30 fucking seconds, you would realize that poor white folk and poor black folk have way more in common than you could possibly fucking imagine. But because somebody convinced you that your lot in life was because somebody of color got something in life, they achieved something, they got somewhere, then that must be why you didn't. That must be why you're where you're at in fucking life. No, it's not. So you're going to vote for somebody that's going to destroy this fucking country because you're ignorant about policy, but you hate the same people as he does. You're a fucking idiot. You're advocating for us to be able to pay 3 times more for our health care and get shittier outcomes than the rest of the modern civilized world. Why? Well, because some poor person might actually be able to go to a fucking doctor, and you might have contributed to that overall pot. Oh, heavens to Betsy's. Are you fucking kidding me? You do realize there are black Trump supporters, right? Yeah. There are Hispanic Trump supporters. Whether they be Mexican, maybe they're Cuban, Dominican. There are German Trump supporters and Italian Trump supporters. Doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean that Trump is not a fucking racist piece of shit. It doesn't mean that Trump's policies and the Republican policies as a whole aren't dog shit. And these people, these working class folk, you want to know what I'll never understand for the life of me? I will never understand for the life of me when I drive through these small towns where I live and in somebody's lawn, I see a Trump sign next to a proud union home. Really? Really? How the fuck are you a proud member of a union and a Republican? Fuck a Trumper, a Republican. Are you fucking kidding me, man? Thank you very much, Alexis, for the $5 donation. Ranchers are missed because U.S. imports of beef, tariff hurting U.S. beef imports to China. Exactly. He hurts the very people that vote for him. That's the most phenomenal thing about it. You think J.D. Vance is going to get people to vote for him if he hurts them? No. But Trump can. He is a phenomenal con man. Probably the greatest that this country has ever seen. He will be known for that for the remainder of his life. Thankfully, he can never run for office again. The question is going to become, what does the Republican Party become in a post-Trump world? Who the fuck knows? Do moderate Republicans take hold again? Does the MAGA wing continue to hold on control? Does the party split in two? Do these people like Tucker Carlson, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Robert Massey, maybe these guys like the ones that lost their primaries, Cornyn and whatnot, do they form some type of Freedom First party and splinter the Republican vote in two for 2028? Who the fuck knows? I know this much. The Republican Party is currently constituted, cannot be trusted in any way, shape, or form. You can't vote for them. You can't listen. You can't listen to what they have to say and think that it's the honest to God's truth. The Republican Party cannot be voted for as constituted. And I always voted for the people that were best. There is no way that the Republican Party can be allowed to have a majority. The anti-Christian party. Historically, disasters will cross the aisle or go to dissenters. My apologies. With the support of Trump voters, Florida senators, and illegitimate far-right president, fraud scandal. Are you going back to the Bush v. Gore? Is that what you're talking about? Is that what you're referencing there? Oh, it's been going on for longer than 10. Well, I mean, the Trumpism has been going on for 10 years. The insanity out of the right's been going on for over 40 years, man. The right wing has been crying about communism since the Reagan era, since the 1980s. It's the same fucking story over and over and over again. And AOC is 100% correct. She was interviewed. Somebody was walking down the streets of Washington, D.C., and talking to her as she was walking along. And they asked her about the new communism craze that's going on with the right wing. That's all the right wing is talking about heading into the 2028 midterms. They've all gotten their talking points. It's all about communism this year. She was asked about it and she stopped and she nailed it. She's like, the Republicans think that we're going to turn the country communist. We can't even get the fucking minimum wage raised. That's been going on since like '09. What the fuck? Alexis, thank you very much for the $2 donation. Lion DJT doing rally threatening Iran to open. Yeah. Why the fuck is Donald Trump even doing rallies? If that doesn't scare the shit out of folks, I don't know why. Donald Trump doing rallies as somebody that can't fucking win the presidency again while building a bunker at the White House should scare the fuck out of every human being. What insane times we live in, man. When you think back and people talk, well, not think back, when people talk about the historical era of the 1920s, it's the roaring 20s, right? It was a wild fucking time. There was the rise of fascism in Europe. There was the Great Depression. We head into the 30s with a great deal of uncertainty. And we're doing it again, man. It's the roaring 20s all over again. It's fucking crazy. crazy to think that my son is going to graduate high school in the 2030s. Was there a measles outbreak in the 20s? You feel like the Trump con got started in 99? Do you think fascism survives the 2020s or the 20s? Fascism has never gone away. It's been under the surface. The question is, does it continue to be at the surface like it is now? I don't think so. I think that this election is going to tell us a lot about the direction of politics over the course of the next decade or so, based on this entire election, whether people want to admit it or not, is a referendum on the Trump administration and what the Republicans have allowed him to do. Americans have been flirting with fascism since the 30s. It ain't no fucking lie. No, who the fuck knows what's going to happen to the Trump supporters? You know what I mean? Who the fuck knows? Hopefully they just fucking fade back out of politics like they were before this idiot showed up. Howard Stern, yeah. Well, I think what drove Trump over the top was being roasted by Obama at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. When when Obama roasted him at the Correspondents' Dinner, and that whole goddamn room laughed at Trump right to his fucking face, that stung. That really stung. He was an unhappy human being that day, and I truly believe he entered like he entered the race in 16 not intending to win, like he didn't think he was going to win, but it was going to boost. He was going to use his time in the political spotlight to kind of market himself to a new audience and figure out a way to make money off of it. And he accidentally won. And he accidentally won because the Republican primary in 2016. Thank you very much, Al Crow, for the $5 donation uh, and the kind words. He won in 2016 because the Republican Party was so huge. Remember, it was like 17 motherfuckers in it. It was Ted Cruz and Jeb Bush and the lady that ran the fucking computer company and all sorts of fucking people. And the moderate or normal Republican vote was split among 14 people, and the batshit crazy was consolidated into Donald Trump. And if you'll remember, Ted Cruz won Iowa. Trump immediately said it was rigged, demanded it be redone. He came in second. And then he came in first the next go around. And everybody went, holy shit, Trump won a primary. And people in the moderate wing saw their votes getting split up, and then it was too fucking late. He knocked off a couple more states, and before you know it, he's the nominee. People are falling off left and right. If it was Trump and two other Republicans, he never wins the nomination. Oh, my vacuum has docked. Hopefully, it did a good job. Senate confirms Cameron Hamilton to lead FEMA. Fascism, Nazism, and communism all trying to be the norm. Vote and get your friends and family to vote. Let's stop this. Raven, thank you very much for the $10 donation and the kind words. Greatly appreciated, especially since this is how I make 100% of my income. Yeah, see? It's weird. It's really fucking weird, man. Being a Gen Xer and knocking on the door of 55 and making 100% of my income on social media. That's fucking weird. He bucked the system, and the Democrats weren't prepared. Um, I don't know how much more prepared the Democrats could have been. The Democrats put forth Hillary Clinton in 2016. If you look at Hillary Clinton's resume, her life and her resume, she is quite possibly the most qualified candidate to ever run for president in the history of the United States. But there was a certain segment of this population that just could not bring themselves, and this is just part of it, could not bring themselves to vote for a woman. Another segment of the population were Bernie supporters that voted for Bernie Sanders in the primary, but could not vote for Hillary Clinton in the general election. So they literally turned their vote to Donald Trump. I have the numbers from three key swing states. And so she winds up losing to him. He has the 4 years. America wakes up. They show up in mass to vote him out of office. And then we put forth yet another, albeit hastily put together, very qualified candidate who happened to be a female, a woman. And he wins again. I think that the United States of America is about 30 to 40 years behind having to the point in time where they should have had a woman as president. I truly believe that. Maybe 40 to 50 years behind where we should have been. But unfortunately, because this country is what it is, it's not ready to elect a woman. And that's fucking disgusting, stupid, and moronic. But it's true. And until the baby boomers and a significant chunk of my generation, Gen X, die off, I think it's going to be that way. And unfortunately, it cost us two extraordinarily qualified candidates that could have had the potential to be very, very good presidents. And it's why I don't believe that a woman can be at the top of the ticket this time around, unfortunately. I also don't think Pete Buttigieg can. If somebody said to me, it's entirely up to you who's the next president of the United States, without batting a fucking eye, I'm going to look at you and say Pete Buttigieg. I get to pick? Somebody get the Bible. We're swearing in Pete. This country will never vote for him. If he's the vice president, yeah. If she, or pick a woman, is the vice president, yeah. If either one of them are at the top of the ticket, no. So unfortunately, it has to be another white man. Possibly a black man. But you know what I mean? It's fucking disgusting, but that's where we're at. So it's going to have to be a J.B. Pritzker. It's going to have to be Gavin Newsom. It's going to have to be the guy out of Kentucky. It's going to have to be somebody like that. Maybe a Castro out of Texas, somebody like that. I think if we're going to have a chance to win in 28, and who that person is going to be determined by how this midterm goes, right? Do the Democratic Socialists of America make huge inroads within the Democratic Party? And does the party begin to lean way more left? Do more moderates win and more Democratic Socialists of America lose? And the party stays moderate? That's going to determine who the nominee in 28 is going to be. The direction of the party based on the outcome of this election. I think of the candidates that sort of represent that DSA lane, I think this gentleman in Michigan that just won the primary, Saeed, I forget what his name is, I believe he has the best chance of winning. Although I think he has a big uphill climb in Michigan. A big uphill climb. I think that we're going to lose the Senate race in Maine because we fucked ourselves with not vetting Graham Plattner. And I don't know that the gentleman that is replacing him is going to be sellable to the people that are already tainted in their minds with the Democratic Party. And, you know, Susan Collins has been this old, weird, reliable vote for them. And I think that they just take a flyer on her once again. Then that brings us down to Texas. You got James Tallarico. Ken Paxton is a very flawed candidate. He's a very damaged candidate. But at the end of the day, it's Texas. And I don't see James Tallarico winning it. I sure hope to God he does, but I don't see him winning it. I see potentials to pick up seats in Ohio. I see a potential to pick up the seat in Alaska solely because of a name screw up on the ballot, and potentially in Iowa. I think that there's a chance to pick up the governor's race in Ohio. But I don't think that the people in the Democratic Party are going to be as pleased with some of the big name races. Dr. Abdul El Sayed, exactly, thank you. Um, I'm working over a thing. I'm working on roids. Forgive me. Um, I don't think that we're going to be as pleased with the some of the big names races in November, but I think that we're going to be pleased with the overall result, if that makes sense. At least I hope that's the way it's going to go. At a minimum, I hope that we're pleased with some of the bigger races as well. Um, I just think that places like New York are very, very suited to elect DSA candidates, and all of the nominees on the Democratic ticket over there that represent the DSA are going to win convincingly. Michigan, it's a little bit more. Well, Michigan's a swing state. It's not a left leaning state yet. I think that the Democrats screwed themselves over in the seventh congressional district in Michigan, where there was a Democratic Socialist of America and two moderate Democrats running in the primary together against an incumbent Republican in a district that Donald Trump won. And 47% of the vote went to the DSA candidate, but 56% of the vote went to the two moderates. So by having two moderates, you split the vote, and you lose out on having somebody that could win that seat in a district that needs to be flipped. I don't think it's going to get flipped now, unfortunately. I think it's gonna stay in Republican hands. I think the House is going to flip overall, but it's not going to be that seat. We'll pick up North Carolina. I certainly hope so. I mean, I really do. If Democrats wants progressive votes, they need to stop being MAGA light. Okay, I cannot disagree with you more. I don't think that Democrats are MAGA light, and this is why we have Donald Trump. Okay, I am of the opinion that moderate Democrats in New York need to go vote for Democratic Socialist of America because that's your Democratic nominee, and that's the only person that's going to prevent the Republican from winning that seat. And I'm of the opinion that DSA people in places like Chicago are going to need to vote for the moderate candidates that won their primaries because that's the Democratic nominee. This whole thing of I'm not going to vote for the Democratic nominee because my person didn't win is exactly how we get people like Donald Trump. It's exactly how we get a situation like we have right now where the Republicans control the White House and both chambers of Congress because you had to teach the Democrats a lesson. Well, are you satisfied with your little lesson plan? Because there are literally people dying. Thanks. I'll be right back. Tad Smoky in here. Alas, that is to be expected, I suppose. The fuck? Man, I must have missed some shit while I was away. What are you talking about when it comes to a civil war? Yeah, every now and again, I got to get up and I got to go to the bathroom. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and piss down my leg just to keep the live a cranking. Do you think states like West Virginia and Idaho could ever be saved? Yeah. Tiger wants a civil war. He said it, not me. Who's Tiger? So bathroom breaks are okay. Good. I started my YouTube page. Good to know. Yeah, I take bathroom break. Yeah, if I'm going to if I'm doing a live, I've been live for 56 minutes. I have an overactive bladder and I take a water pill. Goddamn right, I'm gonna get up and take a piss. You know what I mean? It happens. Complain about Fox News. I get blocked from YouTube. Is there something going on? I don't know. Shave that beard. No. Dude is human after all. I'm at least human adjacent. Ooh, that's a good one. It's okay, dude. We're just having fun. Right on. You're due for a haircut. I'm getting there. I'm getting there, but my son's got to have his done next week before the pictures get taken for the freshman yearbook. So I'll probably go in when he gets his. We'll get a double. Did you vote in the primary election today? Does your state allow early voting? My state did not have a primary vote. Yes, it does allow early voting. Yes, I voted in the primary. Yes, I'm going to vote in the general. What? Okay, let's see what that does. You got no hair on your head? Okay. Were you a Grateful Dead fan before you went on the... No. No, I kind of fell ass backwards into it. You, my friend, are fabulous, and I like you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Vote, vote, vote. Yep. And don't forget to smoke, smoke, smoke. Don't mind if I do. You should see the ridiculous referendum vote that I have to participate in my province in October. September 1st, requesting my mail-in ballot. My hair is falling out. May just have to shave it all off. Why is your hair falling out? That's one thing about the men in my father's side of the family. They didn't really lose a ton of hair. At least not that I can remember. My grandfather, I think, was the one that had the most hair loss. But uncles and great uncles didn't really. I guess we'll see, right? Because this is what I do for a living, so I'm not going to stop it anytime soon. So you're unfortunately going to see a whole lot more of this mug. You're also going to hear a lot more of my voice. Let me explain. I'm bringing back my audio podcast. I used to do a weekly podcast on Fridays called the Second Half Podcast with Tom Powell. You can still go back and listen to all the old episodes. They're still on Spotify. And I'm going to bring that back. And then I'm going to take that audio version and I'm going to put it on, what the fuck? YouTube. But in an audio version only. So you can put it on in the background and listen. I really do not have room for one more skull. I am maxed. As long as I'm in this office, I am maxed the fuck out. I have room for 0 more skulls. So please don't send me another skull. Thank you very much for the kind thoughts if you were thinking of it. But no, I have room for no more skulls. Doesn't hair loss usually come from the mother's side of the family? I don't know. That's a good question. I'm running thumbnails. Otherwise, I dive in and do a deep search, but I don't want to slow this down. It's slow enough as is. It's painful. It's painful. You think the other Republicans can't replicate bumper sticker politics? Not like him. Not like him. I don't think that there's a way for people in the Republican Party, the people who are left, to replicate the shit he does. Because it takes, I think doing what Donald Trump does takes a deep version of narcissism and evil that others just don't possess. Are they narcissists? Yes. Are they evil? Yes. Not like this. Show us your wrist tat. Oh, it's a stupid skull. It's so bad. Like it's fucking. It looks like a bad drawing. Hair loss comes from both sides, not just your mom's. Okay. Going to New Orleans in mid October. Any suggestions? Oh yeah, get yourself some of that. Oh God, where was? Go to my page, YouTube page here, and go to the playlists. And there's a travel playlist. And from a couple of years ago, we went to New Orleans, and there's a great outdoor restaurant that we ate at. Fantastic gumbo. They got the beignets, the whole shooting match. A little bit of outdoor music, fantastic. If you're going to be staying in the French Quarter, you're going to hear tons of stuff that's just happening naturally outdoors. Get yourself some gumbo if you have time, maybe a muffaletta. If you have the opportunity to, try if you can book one, either a swamp tour or a nighttime cemetery tour, a haunted cemetery tour. Those seem to be very popular. Sorry, I'm uploading a thumbnail. But the food is what is really amazing there. It's just it's good. I really, really, really like Cajun food. And there's a restaurant in Plainfield called Mojo's that just does it so goddamn well. I fucking love it. What's better, Cajun or Mexican? Well, overall Mexican food. But like there's a whole lot of Cajun food I could see being incorporated in my everyday diet or every week diet. You know what I mean? New Orleans is one of three cities that have deep connective roots. It's New Orleans, Louisiana, Havana, Cuba, and Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. They were the spice trade routes, and they all have very similar influence to one another. And Cajun food takes a little bit of American food, but a whole lot of Caribbean food and mixes it in a manner that is just unique unto itself. But yeah, I fucking Mexican is still number one for me overall. Love the haunted cemetery tours. Yeah, because most of the cemeteries, if not all of them, down there are above ground because of the swamp-like nature of the ground. Also, a lot of people I hear a lot of people go to New Orleans and brag about getting the po' boys, the shrimp po' boys. You know, I don't know. I didn't get one. Any updates on McConnell? Last I heard, he was released from rehab. Excuse me for a moment. And that's all we heard. No pictures, no videos. He was just released to go home. Whatever that means, and whatever then happened, that's all we heard. Do I think that Democratic voters will avoid voting for a woman in the primary considering the general election? Democratic voters, no. Like I said, the general election voters, yes. I don't know. Daddy's what the fuckity fuck? I mean, it works, right? I'm pulling it off. I'm just saying. It just, you know, I can't help it. I got the Kavorka, the lure of the animal. Um, I don't even know what the fuck we were talking about. Don't even know what the fuck we're talking about. Just completely. It's killing me. It's not giving me the thumbnails I need, and it's killing me. It's fucking killing me. It's killing me. Electing a woman. Yeah, unfortunately, I think that the general election is still very fucking stupid. Still very fragile. We have obviously not done a phenomenal job um, as men over the centuries. Why the hell not? Just get the fuck out of the way and let them run it. Hillary and Harris lost because tens of millions of far leftists abstained from voting. Yep. Yep. Or switch their vote. Flat out switch their vote from the primary to the general election, at least in 2016. To what extent Trump will try to fuck with the midterms? Everything he could possibly fucking do. Remember, he was bold enough to actually seat slates of fake electors in 7 swing states. That is fucking balls. You know? That takes fucking balls. And he did it. He, I believe, faked an assassination attempt against himself, killing an American citizen in the process. I truly believe that. That's fucking balls. My country elected its first female head of state in 91, and we are a lower crime country. DC case, that was the crux of the DC indictment. I don't care if it's a woman, to the extent of not wanting one. The first woman president would be cool. Okay, Fetterman will cross the aisle. Yeah, I think Fetterman will actually change parties at some point in time. We shed 23,000 jobs in July. I've done 2 lives with Tennessee Brando. I was just on Tennessee Brando's live the other night, and he was on mine a few handful of weeks back. Go over to his channel. I believe you can possibly see the live that I was part of over there. Yes, the widow of the man that was killed in Butler, Pennsylvania, says that she believes it was all staged. And my interview with Tennessee Brando is on here somewhere. I don't know where the fuck that would be. I have a lot of content here, sorry. Now that America is low on ammunition, Canada should just attack, right? We're kind of in a bit of a pickle, aren't we? In just a wee bit of a pickle. In translation, we are fucked. Wasn't the Butler, Pennsylvania guy a Trumper? Supposedly. Don't forget to hit the like button, says Sister7465. Thank you very much. That bullet did not hit Donald Trump's ear. That there's no humanly possible fucking way that bullet hit his ear. Ear cartilage does not grow back. Period. Cowardice got us here. Veneer types scared of everything. Eager to pick on fellow liberals. What does this one say up here? It was determined that Doge didn't save nearly as much as Trump and Elon said, and the numbers were inflated. Guess that means no $5,000 Doge check. Nope. That's never going to be a thing. The ear is intact and no scars. Yep. It's only the high precision munitions we're low on. But the women can't relate to this. Ever had an earring ripped off? Exactly. Can you just absorb Washington and hey Canada? Can you just absorb Washington and Oregon into your country? I'd be happy to put my elbows up. What about us? I mean, the fuck. Oh my God, it's so horrible. These fucking thumbnails are terrible. You are the only person I cannot hear on TikTok. Speak up. I'm talking as loudly as I really can throughout the course of the day when I'm making a lot of content. Blood packs? Let's just put all the Trumpers in Ohio. Can I get an amen? My kid has a cat scratch their ear when they were little. It's still there today. Exactly. Exactly. Hang on one second. If even that, Chris. If even that. Don't put all the Trumpers here. I'm here. Oh, blood packs is where the blood came from. Yes. Yeah, that's a definite possibility. And I hate that that's even something that I think, but it is a definite possibility. Let's see what we got here. We have my utility bill for my refuse. My quarterly bill for garbage collection in my town. I'm on my own septic system, so I don't have any sewage bills or anything of that nature, and I'm on my own well, so I don't have any water bills of that nature. So I pay electric, gas, and garbage. Garbage pickup quarterly, $79.50 if paid by the due date, $87.45 after the due date. Due date August 31st, 2026. I don't know the name of our garbage company. There's something out there. What the fuck? That's dumb as fuck. Pointing out that the world, I don't know if he volunteered for that. Anna. Pointing out that the world is burning and no one is trying to fix it is not pessimism. Yes, no, I don't agree. I don't disagree with you. You got to have a gas bill. I do have a gas bill. So when we get gas to the house, that's what we heat the house with, and obviously we have a water heater that is gas. So that's what that gas bill is for. It obviously goes up in the winter and way down in the summer. And then we have an electric bill, which obviously goes way up in the summer and then goes down a little bit in the winter. Oh, your everything is electric. Gotcha. Climate change has made house insurance in Florida unaffordable. America will never be a socialist country. We got to get our water back. I feel like I'm in Florida, so there's a few different ways to go about it, somebody says. Climate change is a hoax, somebody says. You miss your gas stove. Yes, we have gas stoves here. Or electric. People have electric around here as well. We ourselves have a gas stove and a gas dryer. You're all off grid. Right on. What is this, Ricky, exactly? My stove and dryer are electric, but my head and water heater are gas. I don't have AC though. That sucks balls. Yes, it does. And that AC bill is a motherfucker. I'll tell you right now, it really does take a bite. Um, for a few years there, we were having a lot of inefficiency in the house, and we were paying $500 and $600 a month, and that shit was pissing me the fuck off. And I was trying to figure out what we needed to do to get it fixed. And I got an AC guy in here, and he was supposed to get back to me with some estimates, but he never did. And then we got our front door replaced, and I know that the front door was leaking at some point in time, but it was leaking so bad that it was the reason. It was the problem. So like if it was in the 90s and we had our AC set at 69, we would hover around 78. We were that inefficient. Now, when it's in the 90s and we have our AC set, now we don't really keep it at 69, we keep it at 71, and it stays at 71, 72, all because we fixed the fucking door. So, you know, that really pisses me off that I just could have fixed the fucking, replaced the front fucking door and, dealt with this. Yes, Gene Dugan, he will. Is the White House ballroom still being constructed or blocked by the courts? On again, off again, on again, off again. Today, another appellate court put a pause on it, but that doesn't mean shit. It's going to be back on today. He's not going to stop. First, it was global warming that didn't happen. Now it's climate change. Been talking about this stuff since the 70s. Not happening. Okay. Then don't believe it's happening. I don't give a shit. Can anyone disagree politely? Usually not. Not anymore. 95 by you today. Yeah, see, we're in the 80s. 95 is a bit warm. 80s are a bit much for me. You're flirting, with triple digits, and with 95, you could easily have a heat index, or it feels like, in the hundreds. So, fuck that. This is peak anti-intellectualism. The thought of climate change being a hoax. Yeah, I mean, we all know it, but you look like Sharpay. And that kind of weather, why I refuse to live anywhere south of where I currently live, can't do triple digits. No, I could not handle summers in New Orleans, Tampa, Miami, Houston. I don't think I could. 89 in Puerto Rico. See, that's fuck that shit. Well, thank you, Fifth. Thank you. Polk County, Florida, dead center in the state. Right in the middle of all of it. Jesus Christ. How do you do it? How the fuck do you do it? What? Swamp ass on the daily? Jesus Christ. I'm in Philly. We broke records this year with triple digit heat. Middle of Florida must be brutal as hell. Oh, yeah. Unquestionable hell. Unquestionable hell. First of all, I think my dog needs to go outside. Hang on. You go outside? Let's go. Give me a minute, guys. Sorry, guys, he's taking a shit. What the fuck is this thing spitting out at me now? Jesus, Mary, and fucking Joseph, this thing is off the fucking chain. Florida is a swamp, literally and figuratively. Yes, they paved over a swamp and they put up a Dollar General. Still has beautiful beaches, that's for goddamn sure. It's just so goddamn hot. It's just so oppressively hot. Like, disgustingly fucking hot. The amount of fucking sweat I generate in my taintal region when I'm in Florida is immeasurable. I have absolutely no idea how people in Florida give each other oral. Like, fucking possible. It's in every crevice. They use AC, but you got to go outside at some fucking point in time. I was in Orlando, Florida, with my son on Memorial Day weekend. There was a restaurant a block away. It said it was well, not a block away. They said it was a 7-minute walk away. I'm like, we're not getting an Uber. It's 7-minute walk. We walked that 7 minutes and we were fucking wrenched. You goddamn right I Ubered back. Are you out of your fucking mind? I'm not walking that shit, man. It's like you could ring me the fuck out. No. No, and you want to live there full time? That shit. Do you miss your prison husband? Why? Does your wife say hi to me? Does she recognize me? We just came back from Florida. Sunny, too hot. Excuse me. Doggy is done. Watch this. Clyde. Clyde. I hear you, Eddie. Want this cheese? Look, I got you another piece, buddy. Yeah, I got slices of cheese, and I'll break out the slices and I'll split them with them. It's a good boy. Good boy. Go lay in front of the air conditioner. Come on, get out of here. Get out of here. You're going to hack up a hairball. Do it in the hallway where it's hardwood. What's up, boy? Here's your good boy. Jesus fucking Christ, man. I don't know if it's an asthma. It might be an asthma attack. You good, Eddie? You good? We gooch? Sounds like an old man coughing up a loogie. Yeah, that's what I've been sounding like. I got me on these fucking steroids now. Steroids and fucking antibiotics. How many cats and dogs do you got? We have 1 dog and 5 cats. Right, buddy? Good afternoon. Just wanted to say excellent video. Labeled it "Don't add up, but money spent in Iran." Well, thank you. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate that. Not enough cats. Rookie numbers. My wife would disagree. She would say that we probably have too many. Great combination of drugs. Well, that's what I'm on right now. I'm on antibiotics, uh, uh, steroids, and marijuana. That's working. It's handling things. You know. Love your YouTube shorts. Well, thank you very much. You should see my longs. No, I say that because that's how I make my money off my longs. I make good money off the shorts. Don't get me wrong, but most of my money does come from the longs. No, these two. Okay, hang on a second. Slow down. These two meds are what I'm on because I've got something in my chest right now. Um, I take 9 pills every morning and 3 pills every night. Um, 9 pills in the morning, except on Friday there's a 10th pill, a vitamin D pill. These pills here, these 2 pills, that's just because I'm sick. Oh yeah, flock cameras are going to be something that unites Americans. That's for goddamn sure. And keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, meth heads of all ages. There's copper in them their cameras. There's copper wiring and a little bit of gold in flock cameras. You do with that information what you will. I'm just stating publicly known data. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum. What are flock cameras? There are now cameras that are going up all over the country that are just a pole with a camera on it. That's monitoring everything. For example, the state of Texas examined electronically flock cameras in 83 cities or some shit like that. I think it was to find license plates of women from their states that were in other states to get abortions. They're monitoring everybody's moves, and it's not. We're not joking. It's okay. Uh, that works. Oh fuck, Texas they got fucking problems, man. They got fucking problems. They are tracking women down in other states and prosecuting them for getting abortions. They are wanting to throw people in prison for fucking life. For life. You know that the amount of marijuana I have in this desk right now would get me over a decade in prison in the state of Texas. A decade. For what I have in this drawer. Couldn't live in Texas if you paid me. Fuck that state. And that's the thing is we almost lived in Texas. When our daughter Maggie was born, she's 25 now. She just turned 25 in May. When she was born, when she was a baby, so right about now, 25 years ago. Now that I think about it, fuck yeah, right now, 25 years ago, because she was a fucking baby. I got contacted by a company just outside Dallas, Texas. A company in a town called Carrollton, Texas, which is a suburb of Dallas. And they saw my resume on some fucking job board somewhere, and they wanted to interview me to run their construction department, their landscape construction department. They wanted to fly me and Renee down, Renee and I down, me and Renee down for a weekend, interview me, and like show us around, Carrollton and the various neighborhoods and whatnot and what have you. And, you know, back then, fuck, I mean, it was more money than I could ever fucking imagine, right? It was well over 100,000. It was 110, I think it was 115, and then I was like, Jesus fuck, that's insane. We could live better than we ever could have lived. And Renee was like, yeah, we can, but we're going to be moving away from our family, and I want to be able to get on a plane every month and come back and see them if I want to. And I was like, I don't know if we can make that happen. And I did not want to move away from the family. And I'm glad that we didn't make the move because I mean, the possibility was there. Just like a few years ago, she was offered the possibility of coming down to Savannah, Georgia, and interviewing and us relocating there. I can't see us there either, Savannah, Georgia. They have bugs there the size of sanitation trucks. Yeah, not moving from the Chicagoland area to the Dallas area was probably the best move we ever made, or best move we ever didn't make. And I wasn't thinking about it back then from a political standpoint. I really wasn't. I was thinking about it from a financial standpoint and how much it was going to cost for her to fly back every month and how I didn't want to be away from the family. I just really didn't want to be away from the family. And I'm glad that we're here. Even though the United States has a lot of problems, that if I had no ties whatsoever, I would look at Renee and go, you want to get a place in Costa Rica? You want to get a place in Jamaica? Let's go tomorrow." But you know, we have a lot of ties here. Her mom is here. Her sister and stepsisters are here. Stepfather's here. All of her cousins are here. Our daughters are here. Our daughters in college in Chicago. Our other daughter lives in the state. Another daughter that lives one state over. Obviously, our son's still in high school here. I don't see us ever leaving Illinois. Maybe having a second place if we were financially viable to do so at some point in time, but never actually leaving the Chicagoland area. I don't see it happening. Then again, who the fuck knows? I might be doing content from a fucking beach in St. Croix 5 years from now. Who the fuck knows? What is this? That works. Have you heard about a federal judge recently getting threats of violence or death ruling against Trump? I have not. When did this happen? I live in Texas and I can't stand the politics. Hang on a second. The politics here, I feel so alone. Yes, I can imagine that you do. Just curious, do you think Democrats have a chance at winning the Senate and governor races in Ohio? Yes, I do. I do. You get some of that nice North African hash. Huh? Belize is nice. We were just in Belize a week and a half ago. Well, land that's owned, that Belizean land that's owned by a cruise ship, at least. Yeah, we were just in Belize, Mexico, and Honduras. No, get the fuck out of here. I don't want to do that. The fuck? Thank you. Fuck Trump, worthless sociopath, piece of shit. I agree. I was talking. Oh, gotcha. Did we enjoy the cruise? Yeah, although I think we're going to switch back to the Royal Caribbean / celebrity family rather than go back on Norwegian. Norwegian's fine, it really is, but we like the food a lot more on Royal Caribbean and Celebrity. Celebrity is owned by Royal Caribbean. We can get good cruises on either Celebrity or Royal Caribbean, depending on if we have the niche, the desire to have the kids with us or not. In the Caribbean, in the Alaska region, in the Mediterranean, in the North Atlantic, and we just like the ships better. That's all. So I think the next one will be either Royal Caribbean or Celebrity. Are you a Jew? No, I'm not. I'm thinking cruising might be calling. We really enjoy it. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it. And then we took a test cruise out of Miami on Royal Caribbean. It was a short cruise. And we wanted to do a short cruise to test it. We didn't want to be trapped for a week on a ship. And I think this was like a 4-day cruise out of Miami. And you went to Nassau in the Bahamas. You had a sea day and you stopped at Royal Caribbean's island, Coco Cay. The perfect day at Coco Cay, they call it. And we really enjoyed it. And what we like about cruising, a few things that we like about cruising is number one, it's a great way to go to 2, 3, maybe even 4 different countries and never have to repack. You can hit like this cruise that we just went on. We hit Mexico, Honduras, and Belize from one room. We got to see Mayan ruins and save sea turtles and hit beaches, all without ever having to pack and repack. Secondly, you do get a variety on the food and the entertainment. There's a comedy club on board. There's a theater that puts on shows. There's a bar that has cover bands. Several restaurants and bars. There's always stuff going on in the main Galleria. On Royal Caribbean, 24/7, 2 o'clock in the morning, you can go get a fucking pizza and a beer if you want. So there's and it doesn't feel like you're on a ship. It literally feels like you're at a resort. The resort is just moving. There's a promenade. There's a brick sidewalk and an ice cream shop and a French restaurant and a comedy club. And it's like fucking weird and trees growing and shit. It's like you're in a fucking resort. It just happens to go from one country to another. So we rather enjoy it. And we're going to continue to do it. Spain to impose border controls against travel from Italy as row over more migration there. Is there a pool on board too? Yes. So the cruise that we were just on had an adults only pool. And then there was a all family / kids pool that had sort of like a splash pad and 3 water slides that splashed down into it. And then there's a level up on, so we were on Norwegian. And there's a high level tier on Norwegian called, oh, I forget what it's called. But there's a level up that has their own indoor pool, as well as being able to use the outdoor pool if they want. Every cruise ship we've ever been on has had at least one pool. And the nice thing about cruising that we've learned is you look at your itinerary and you go, okay, I really want to do this and I really want to see this. I don't really give a shit about this port. So maybe when you're in that port, you don't get off. You stay on the ship, you hit the pool, and nobody's on the ship. The last time we took this cruise here, we didn't get off in Belize. Renee and I did this itinerary before. We went off the boat in Mexico and in Honduras, but we didn't go off the ship in Belize. And we hit the pool, and it was us and 2 other fucking guys for the day at the pool. That's it. It was all us. And so we just spent 6, 7 fucking hours floating in the pool. We went and fucked off and grabbed some lunch, came back, nobody's at the pool, any chair you want. Getting a pool seat on a sea day, though, when you don't have a port that day, that could be tricky. And you better get out there early and get your goddamn seat. I'll tell you that much right now. Or go do something else. Go do entertainment. Hit the gym. Hit the movies. See a show. Something of that nature. They do games in the like all the time. Or just go sit on your balcony and enjoy the fucking the scenery. You know, sometimes that's what we do. Do they sell hot dogs? Yeah. So every ship has different restaurants, but every ship has a buffet, and every buffet on every ship we've ever been on now has had an area where there's hamburger, hot dog, and pizza, right? Good old American fare. And every ship at the buffet always has an Indian section because there are a lot of people that love Indian cuisine. And then from there's a whole bunch of different options. There's Taste of Asia. Usually there's a theme night that rotates. Usually on Celebrity they had a hibachi station where people were lined up to get their custom-made hibachi. That shit was good, motherfucker. I'll tell you that right now. I love that shit right there. The Indiana came out of me right there, didn't it? So yeah, we're gonna do more cruises for sure. That's for goddamn sure. But listen, I have been live for a hot minute, and these thumbnails are giving me a fucking pain in the ass workout over here. So I'm going to get off of this live, and I'm going to try and focus on these thumbnails for a minute. I'm going to see who's live over on some of the other stations as well. I've got more videos coming, and I might be live again later on tonight. I don't know. All right. So make sure you watch all the videos. Tell everybody you know to come watch the videos, please, and thank you. Hit my store, get my books, my T-shirts, my hoodies, all of that. All of that's available at the link in my bio. Don't forget, I'm bringing back my podcast, my Every Friday podcast. I'll let you know when that's up and running. Get yourself a Have the Day You Voted For T-shirt or hat. I've got those available in the store. Also, fuck Donald Trump T-shirts and hats over there in the store as well. All right. Hasta lasagna. Don't